Hello! And welcome to Infinite Edgelord Hyperbole. Some idiot reads White Wolf. Episode 0, the one where I just explain what's going on. So, if you don't know me, and you probably don't, or maybe you probably do, because, who's going to listen to this other than people I know? Anyway, you can call me Adrian, that's my name. You can call me Beans or Communist Beans, that's my internet name, because I'm an internet nerd. You can call me some idiot, because that's true. So, this show, my intention is, it will be me kind of taking a book from the White Wolf tabletop gaming company, and since usually it's going to be older White Wolf books, there's going to be a good deal of complaining, more about content than mechanics. Although if I can justify complaining about the mechanics, be sure to remember that I shall. Anyway, some of you may be like, White Wolf? What's that? Because maybe you don't really know about White Wolf. For those of you that do know about White Wolf, I guess you can be amused when I explain everything wrong. So, here goes my explanation. The White Wolf company, is a tabletop gaming company that it did some other things besides the stuff I'll talk about. They did writing for, I think they did writing for at least a few Dungeons and Dragons books. They did writing for the Sword and Sorcery system, and they did writing for the World of Warcraft tabletop game books. But that wasn't their projects. That was just projects they were paid to write on. No, they really got going in 1991 when they released Vampire the Masquerade, a gothic punk game of personal horror. Basically, it was a game about being a vampire in kind of something based on the modern world, but, much more gothic-y. It was very 90s. Very, very early 90s, late 80s. And the game was called to be about personal horror, because the point wasn't so much, oh, there's a lot of scary monsters in the world. It's more, yeah, there's a lot of scary monsters in the world, and you're one of them. And, from night to night, you're trying to hold on to your humanity as it slowly slips away, because you gotta do really bad stuff to survive, and if you don't do that bad stuff, you might lose control and do worse stuff. Vampire the Masquerade was quite popular, and was the flagship of their World of Darkness franchise, which also included Werewolf the Apocalypse. It's a game about werewolves, kind of. Also their Captain Planet. Mage the Ascension. It's a game about wizards, kind of. Also everything's batshit insane. Wraith the Oblivion. It's a game about ghosts that didn't sell very well, so it ended 5 years before everything else did. The World of Darkness, which I'm going to be calling the Old World of Darkness. It went from 1991 to about 2003-04, and then every line pretty much got a book about how the world ended, because kind of from the start the intention was this franchise would end with the end of the world. And then later White Wolf started their New World of Darkness franchise, which later would be renamed the Chronicles of Darkness. And the New World of Darkness was meant to be, I'm paraphrasing a quote, and I might be wrong, but I think it was supposed to be essentially what the Old World of Darkness games would have been, if they were basically saying, if we knew then about game what we know now, this is what we would have made. They made Vampire the Requiem, Werewolf the Forsaken, which has the amusing acronym WTF, and Mage the Awakening, which has the confusing acronym MTA, same as the Old Mage. But, you might be like, alright, so there's all these tabletop games. What if I've never played those? Well, the Old World of Darkness had some video games, actually. There was Vampire the Masquerade Redemption, which I don't know if anyone played. There were 3 games for Hunter. I think those were for the Old World of Darkness Hunter, which are apparently like pretty good games, except that they were a trilogy. One's on PS3, PS2, one's on Xbox, one's on GameCube. So you had to have 3 systems to play all the games. But the one I think more people than any are likely to know about is Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, because that was quite popular and still has a pretty decent modding community to this day. It was based on, I think, the Source engine. So, anyway, yes. So that is White Wolf. Oh, well, of course, that's not all of White Wolf. They also made the Exalted games. I'm going to be talking about those. They made Scion. I'm not talking about that, because I don't know anything about it. I'm not going to be talking about their Trinity line, because I know nothing about that, other than, like, it's kind of 3 games, one of which is Indiana Jones, one of which is Watchmen, and one of which is, like, some future thing. Now, what am I actually going to be doing? Well, I'm going to be, every episode, taking a book, usually by White Wolf, although sometimes I will go outside the lines. And I'm going to be talking about it, and since usually it's going to be an Old World of Darkness book, I'm often going to be complaining. So, a lot of the time, it'll be me pointing out, well, things that I think are bad. First example, Clan Book Malkavian. I'm going to be pointing out that, hey, you know, this is kind of not great in terms of portraying mental illness. That's a thing. But when there's things I like, I will point that out. In fact, there will be entire episodes, although they might be shorter, devoted to, hey, I like this. For that, I at least vaguely plan to make an episode touching on actually a one entry in the New World of Darkness book, the antagonist book for werewolves, because that has one really good entry in it that I actually super like about a super creepy town. But, more about me, specifically my tabletop gaming history. Well, to be fair, you can immediately discredit all my opinions on the Old World of Darkness, because I've never played any of it, and I probably won't. I mean, you can actually maybe not totally discredit them, because I'm going to be talking about things like, hey, maybe we shouldn't portray mental illness this way. But anyway, I have played a little bit of Chronicles of Darkness / New World of Darkness, and I would very much like to be able to play more. I just kind of never get the chance. I have played a decent amount of Exalted, mostly 2nd edition / 2nd.5. A little bit of 3rd edition, not enough. Outside of that, I've pretty much played, I've played some Pathfinder, a pretty small amount of Pathfinder, and some of a Common Writer free homebrew system that my friends and I made up, because I'm a nerd. Alright, and so technically this episode 0 might go up. I'm actually not sure when I'm going to put it up. I might put it up way before anything else, because here's the thing. I'll let you in on a little secret. I am really great at getting all excited for projects and starting the projects, and then not continuing the projects. So, what I'm gonna do is, my intention is that I will write and record and completely finish at least 3 episodes before I start putting them up. And I'm thinking like when I put things up on the regular, I think monthly is a decent way to do it, because, well, I'll have to figure out exactly how much time it takes me, because I'm actually going to be I've already done writing for Clan Book Malkavian, and I'm going to probably scrap that and rewrite it in a much more concise form, because I don't want this podcast's episode to be like 5 fucking hours long. You don't want to listen to me talking for 5 hours. You probably don't want to listen to me talking for half an hour. But once I kind of figure out how long it'll probably take me to do the writing, then I will determine if monthly is good, or if I could maybe do... No, I don't think I could do bi-weekly. I'm not that good. But yeah, so basically, this is all you'll get for a while, because I'm dumb. But perhaps, possibly, you may be getting a podcast. Usually it's going to just be me, unfortunately. Sometimes I would really, really like to get other people's input, like my friend 8-Bit Squirrel / Connor, who himself is doing a podcast called As Good As They Say, where he talks about film, specifically going through a list of Hollywood's top 100 films. Also, our friend Joe, I might like to get his opinions. Maybe my girlfriend, I don't know. By the way, I hopefully may be appearing on As Good As They Say when schedules allow, because schedules don't allow things very often. But, okay, that's enough rambling. I'm going to cut myself off here. So, in summary, this show is going to mostly be me, kind of grousing about tabletop gaming products. So, if you're not a big fan of that, you may not like this. But hey, maybe it'll make decent background noise to put on while you, like, vacuum or do your homework. So in summary, do your homework. Yeah.